There was a quote during the game against Purdue. One of the sideline reporters said, I believe in like a press conference, he straight up asked you, "Are you worried about overexposure?" And he said the reaction was just everybody started laughing. Was that like, I would imagine it's like, I got a week to capitalize. Let's go, man. I'm not worried about this at all.
Yeah, exactly. I try to enjoy it and capitalize off it. And, it's never happened before. So I was unsure how to go with it. I had a few people on the staff, especially, Reed Vial. He's been helping me with a lot of it. He's like, hey, let's just do everything we can. And I was like, yeah, for sure. I was down to do it. Yeah, but I know it must. I've seen like some comment stuff. I know people aren't loving the overexposure during the game. Someone will have a play and the camera will just pan to me and they're probably like, why? What is he doing? He's not doing anything. But
No, he did the
yeah,
Taylor
I'm
Swift.
just
I
I'm
was
just trying
just
to
going to
enjoy
say
it.
that.
Yeah.
You and Taylor Swift, Amir. You and Taylor. You are culturally relevant and you deserve to be on the broadcast.
Yeah.
Tell everyone to shut the hell up.
That is the Taylor treatment. He's the fan. Why is he on the camera? Well, he's the most fucking important thing in college basketball. That's why he's on the fucking camera. Give me a break, man.
I
So,
appreciate that.
but I mean, I guess that might answer my question, but have we reached the level of haters yet? Because in the beginning, you were, everybody loved you. You're the darling. Then all of a sudden, people start to hear that you're making a little money. You're on the camera. Are
Yeah.
are the Amir Khan boo birds out?
Yeah, I would say, I'm definitely, just like some comments there that are saying they're tired of this guy, which I don't blame them. Everywhere on social media you go, they see me instead. And, some of it's not, full on hating. It's just they believe the coaches and players should get more exposure. And I believe that too, but I'm not in control of the media. I can't control what they say, what they do. I'm just doing my thing. And if they overuse it, that's on them. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and I'm not going to let it get to me regardless.
I'm not the director. No, I don't make those choices.
I know. Unfortunately, we've been eliminated, and that's a bummer. But if we had stayed in the tournament, you should have pulled the Herb Brooks. Herb Brooks, 1980 Olympics head coach, USA versus Russia. He wouldn't allow the team to do press conferences because he wanted them to focus on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So only he would do press conferences. And eventually the press asked, are you doing this just so we only pay attention to you? And then Herb Brooks never did another press conference.
No way.
So next weekend, fine. Someone else will walk out with the box.
Yeah.
See what happens now.
Right. You want to write your articles?
Yeah.
Now write it on something else.
You'll miss the fun guy.
I mean,
no, I love it.
I would say almost the opposite, though. Like, I think that people like managers are always the unsung heroes of teams that are doing the grunt work and helping the team out and don't get enough shine. So yeah, maybe this one is an extreme example, but let's just for every other manager ever who never got an ounce of shine, this is for them because the players and the coaches do get enough, and so I think if anything, people should embrace the fact that a behind the scenes guy is finally getting some love.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And, from this, I hope every manager gets their shine, and, this isn't the last thing something like this has happened, and I hope all the managers on our staff also, get their shine and this ends up helping them out. That's what I'm hoping. I also saw another manager, I think from UCLA had a NIL deal. I think it was around the time I got mine. So I think that's amazing. And I hope that continues.
Yeah, man, you're like pioneers, you know what I mean? Like, but for real, if there is an avenue, I mean, you're a pretty extreme case again. But if there's an avenue where a manager can get a few bucks here and there for, a logo on a jumpsuit or a bone box or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's for somebody, again, who usually does a lot of work and doesn't get anything for it. Like now you get a few bucks. Now the reports are that you're over six figures. What's the number, Amir?
Yeah, I would say it's around that. I haven't exactly, pocketed all of that money yet, and a lot of it's going towards loans, student loans and stuff. But yeah, I would say it's not untrue. I would say.
Now the other thing that usually comes along with you get some money, you get some fame. Are you getting more attention on campus now? I would imagine.
Yeah, I would say so. People around. I haven't been on campus, with the school too much.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So going
exactly.
home would be
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I was saying, people around, whenever I was in Providence, a lot of people recognized me and, just stopped by, just wanted to talk or for a photo. And around here, definitely just, more people would stop me for photos and want to talk to me. And I think that's super cool because, I'm willing to take a photo or talk to anyone who wants to talk to me.
Are you a single man, Amir?
I am. Yeah. I'm watching on the
Are
ground.
girls
Yeah.
interested in the aura right now?
I mean, there's definitely a few hitting me up, but right now I'm just trying to focus on myself and figure out what I'm doing.
Smart man, smart man. How about this? Do you have any brand? Like, what's a dream brand you want to get an NIL deal from?
Yeah, I would say like one of the top, sports brands like Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. I think it would be super cool just because, as a kid who's always loved sports, the top level athletes, they're the one who get that. And as a manager, obviously I never expected to get a deal with them. But if something like that were to happen, I think that would be awesome.
See a Nike commercial for this.
Yeah.
I really could. I legitimately could Nike commercial for this.
Just aura.
Yeah, that's right. Something overly dramatic about aura. I mean, you got the Topps card too, right? You got a trading card?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Topps reached out and said, they wanted to get me a card. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
If you can have a card, you can have a Nike.
Yeah.
Those go hand in hand.